Just put yourself out there. Put yourself out where? Like, what does this even mean? Just put yourself out there is absolutely outdated career advice. And honestly, it drives me crazy to hear people, career experts, employers, recruiters, well meaning, grandmas and grandpas and aunties and uncles say, just put yourself out there as if that's like reasonable or valuable career advice is insane. And so in today's live, I'm going to be talking about some of the most common, outdated, and ill advised career advice, and just giving you some actual strategy that's going to help you advance your career in a meaningful way. So, like I said, we're going to start by talking about just put yourself out there. And this one, I get it. They mean well. They give this advice to people who are like shy or maybe more introverted or maybe really rigid and structured. And they're just kind of inviting them into a little bit more exploration or to try something new, right? And, again, it's well intentioned, right? Like nobody gives this advice and it doesn't mean well, but the problem is that when you tell somebody just put yourself out there, they're left wondering, like, put myself where? Where exactly am I supposed to be putting myself? Where am I supposed to be going? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be learning? Am I just supposed to be like applying for hundreds of jobs and hoping that it sticks? Am I supposed to be just applying for jobs in all kind of different industries? Am I supposed to be just applying for jobs that I don't even qualify for and doing work that I ain't even never heard of? Like, what does it mean to just put myself out there? And like I said, it's well meaning, but a better advice, better strategy is to like, let's work together to build a very intentional and strategic approach to your career development that's based on what you're good at, taking in account of what you're not good at, thinking about what you value, and let's build a strategy to actually help elevate your career, right? Let's do it based on your current skills, not just put yourself out there, but let's do it based on your current skills. Let's do it on what's happening in the labor market. Let's like build a strategy that takes into account where you live and the economy in your area, or if you're open to relocating and moving. Like, let's build a career development strategy that is aligned with your interests and your expertise, right? Just putting yourself out there is meaningless, because put yourself where and put exactly what where, right? Like it just doesn't allow you to leverage any strategy, and it doesn't have any intentionality. And I don't know about you, like everything I do, I want to do with intention. Everything I do, I want to do with focus, with like a reasonable approach. Hi, Onyx. You want to be a part of the conversation? And so, yeah, I think it's just so valuable to like let this advice go. Like it's well meaning, maybe they had a purpose in sharing it, but it is terrible advice that is not sustainable and doesn't really give you any direction in your career. And comment below if you're happy to see Onyx in one of my videos, or if you can agree with letting go of this outdated career advice. So next up is you just need to network and put yourself out there, because it's all about who you know. Oh my gosh. This is similar to the previous advice, this idea that you just need to network. It's all about who you know. Not only is it not true, but it perpetuates an idea of nepotism that doesn't serve any of us, right? Like it can't be all about who you know, because otherwise everything about work and advancement would just be about nepotism and relationships and getting put on, right? And that doesn't account for merit and good work and your degrees and credentials and certifications and the value you add to the industry. And so, this is one that I think is really demoralizing for people. And especially for my introverts, for the people who are a little bit more shy, who haven't really mastered skill articulation. If that's you and somebody tells you, all you have to do is network, then you spend all of your time holding on to a martini glass and, going to, happy hours and actually not having anything to say, not feeling valued, not feeling heard, feeling like you're in the corners and in the shadows as everybody who already is in the know just networks with one another. So let me be clear, relationships in the world of work are important. I'm not saying that relationships don't matter. I'm not saying that you shouldn't build meaningful relationships to, leverage for career advancement. What I am saying is that it's not just about who you know. Number one, you have to be good at something, right? You have to be good at something to get and keep a job, especially if you're operating in integrity, right? You got to be good at something. So I want you to be a woman of integrity. I want you to be thinking about the skills, knowledge, talent, expertise, degrees, credentials, certifications, years of experience that you already have, and learning how to better leverage that expertise to make more money and have more impact in your career. That's what I want you to be thinking about, right? How can I use the skills, knowledge, talent, expertise, degrees, credentials, certifications, years of experience that I already have to advance my career? That is critical and important, and that's what's going to help you elevate to the next level. Also, instead of just thinking about it's all about who you know and building all these surface level, meaningless relationships, how about you be intentional to take some time to actually build relationships with people that you plan to keep, right? Investing in mentorship, that's a relationship that you are investing in yourself and that you plan to keep, and that's actually going to have a return on investment. Seeking out people who can be sponsors and allies to you at work, building relationships with, or at least, trying to get to know prominent people in your industry, and going to their events and meeting them and meeting people in their inner circle, because those relationships can be really valuable to you. You can build them now and grow with them as they grow their platform and in the industry. And so again, relationships absolutely matter, but it's not just the who you know, it's about how you leverage the relationships. And at the end of the day, you still have to be good at something. So it's not enough to just know a lot of people and get put on, because even if you do get put on, you got to stay on, and staying on is going to require a skill. And last but not least, this one I'm hoping not a lot of y'all are falling for, but one of my least favorite pieces of advice, or like things that I kind of hear um, randomly, and I'm just like, no, girl, where did you get that from? Is that your resume, has to be one page, or it can only be a page and a half or something, or nobody's going to read a resume that's over one page. Now, certainly, if you are in college, if you were coming out looking for your first job out of college, then yeah, like I can imagine you have a one-page resume. But most of my audience, like the women who are watching this content, sis, you've been in this field for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. You've been working. So if your resume is one page, that has me just thinking, like, obviously you've not been doing anything and for the last 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15 years, right? So I don't want you to limit yourself and be like, oh, my resume can only be one page. That's not reasonable for a high achieving professional woman. I want you to be thinking less about length and more about, are you speaking to the value of your expertise in a meaningful way? Are you quantifying the value of your expertise? Are you giving specific and relevant examples of your expertise? Or is your expertise, as you're relaying it, aligned with the job for which you are applying? There are lots of things that you should be doing when it comes to updating your resume, but you should not be focused on the length, especially for, many of you. And I don't even like to develop rules. I used to be like, well, if you have this many years of experience, you should have a resume up to this many pages. And if you have this many years of experience, you should have a resume up to this many pages. But I don't even like to do that anymore, because I feel like I don't want to put that kind of restriction on you. And plus, there's a lot of other things that you need to be worried about. I want you to be focused on speaking to the value of your expertise when you write your resume. I want you to be thinking about quantification. I want you to be thinking about specific and relevant examples. I want you to be thinking about the alignment to the role that you're applying for. I do not want you to be thinking about the length. That matters the least of these, right? So be careful of outdated career advice, whether it's just put yourself out there, whether it's all about networking or the one-page resume. Let's all agree that we are going to let this outdated advice go, and we're actually going to lean into relevant and meaningful strategy. And if you're like, Ashley, what is the relevant and meaningful strategy? That's what I'm here for. I'm accepting new mentees. So if you're a professional woman working in corporate, nonprofit, or educational leadership, and you are looking to make more money and have more impact, and you're ready to let go of a lot of outdated, ill advised, maybe well meaning, but not actually actionable career advice, and you're actually looking for a real strategy that's going to move the needle in your career, if you are really looking for someone who's going to help you make more money and have more impact in your career, then I invite you into mentorship. I'm accepting new mentees right now, and the only step that you have to make is to schedule a call with me on my website. That website is mentor-me.org. That's mentor-me.org. You can go right to my website. My calendar is absolutely up to date, and I have availability tomorrow on Wednesday and on Thursday. So I'm really excited to chat with you and just to help you elevate your career. I know that it's hard to sort through all of the advice that's out there related to career development, but it's time for you to get real strategy that's going to drive real results in your career, and I'm excited to help you do that. Just that. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to schedule that call with me on my website at mentor-me.org. Bye.